Let me tell you, if you're not reading Eddie Brock's Carnage, you need to be. As much as I love Al Ewing, if you're going to read anything symbiote, this is what you need to be reading. Support the comic book industry by visiting local LCS. My name is Doran. This is SCN Comics. We continue our coverage of Eddie Brock's Carnage. Number 3. Our story starts off with the last one left off, where Bushwhacker has murked everybody in this police station except Eddie and Carnage. And Eddie is just in shock. He's like, he killed everybody in here. Cops, people in custody, people looking for help. Then he's like, I'm a killer. But Bushwhacker's a monster. And Carnage is like, you keep go ahead and doing that, Eddie. Try to rationalize that you draw that fine line that makes you see yourself just the way you want. It's hilarious. And Eddie's like, shut up, Carnage. Shut the fuck up, Carnage. So then Eddie starts screaming at Bushwhacker. It's like, why? Why would you do this? And Bushwhacker's like, I've been a cop for a long time. And I've seen some really dumb criminals. Like, the majority of them just really dumb. So you get a few that are pretty smart. And the one thing that the smart criminals all have in common is they don't leave witnesses. Which include you, Mr. Brock. And he starts busting shots again right at Eddie. So now Carnage and fully golfs Eddie again. And he's taking all these shots. And he's not the Carnage during like Al Ewing's run. No. He's about a fraction of what that Carnage is. So if he keeps taking and absorbing shots, he can actually die. But then all of a sudden, Bushwhacker runs out of ammo, and Carnage is like, oh, all out, huh? Spits out all the bullets and is like, don't worry. What I'm about to do to you, trust me, it will not hurt me at all. So Bushwhacker just starts running, and Carnage is like, come here, coward. What's wrong with you? Runs into a door, Carnage knocks it down, and then he runs into this vault and just closes the door. The vault door is to the ammo locker, and he just starts chowing down on ammunition. I mean, all kinds of ammunition, bullets and grenades. So then Eddie's like, oh, this is not good. And Carnage's like, what's the problem? So he's reloading. Eddie's like, you don't understand. Cops now have like military hardware, the kind of stuff that could probably take both of us out. So all of a sudden the vault door goes flying and Bushwhacker is huge. I mean, huge. And Carnage's like, yeah, this might be a problem. So all of a sudden he starts shooting flames out like a flamethrower with his left arm. Carnage gets out the way and he gets behind Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker tries to stab him with like a sword coming out of his skin, but Carnage dodges it. And then he's like, you know what your problem was, Bushwhacker? As he grabs his face with like both hands, and he's like, you got greedy, you got big, you got huge, you got slow, and now I got you. So he just keeps squeezing until his head explodes in a gruesome fashion. So the Carnage is like, he's a cyborg, so he might still be alive. And Eddie's like, good point. Let's make sure. Carnage changes his arm into a knife. So then it cuts to New York, where Bailey, that's the person that Eddie's working for, she has a true crime podcast that she does there. She pretty much has theories on different people who might be killers, and then Eddie goes and investigates and finds out if they are or not. So he pretty much calls her and tells her that, hey, he was right about that cop. He was a killer. And he's like, I sent you his whole file, so you got plenty of stuff to talk about on your podcast. So she's getting pissed at Eddie because she's starting to put 2 and 2 together. Like, she sends him after the one dude who was a killer that was on the plane. Then the whole plane, the passengers just come up missing. And now she sends him to a police station after another killer. And everybody at that police station is pretty much dead. So she's like, so what's going on? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm doing my job. I'm giving you information. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And then he gets kind of pissed at her. And then he kind of like calms down. And he's like, look, I got you the information. Just send me the next person that you suspect and I'll go get him. But hey, let's find some more people with powers. And then she's like, I'm wondering, are you working for me or am I working for you? And she hangs up the phone. And Carnage is like, smart lady. So now Eddie's just sitting in his hotel room by himself. And Carnage is talking mess to him. And he's just like, shut up, Carnage. Shut up, shut up, shut up. And he punches himself in the jaw. And Carnage is like, no, that's just stupid. Even for you. So then Eddie goes to the Mindscape with Carnage. And it's like, dozens of people, innocent people, died at that police station. Why? Because we showed up there. So then Carnage is like, don't get cold feet now, Eddie. You're doing so good. And Eddie's like, where are the passengers to the plane, Carnage? And he's like, this again? Like, are we really getting into it? And Eddie's like, where are the passengers, Carnage? And he's like, if you're worried about them being alive, they're alive. Trust me. What use would dead passengers be for me? Now, I could use them as an excuse. So when you feel like you don't need to do something, I could just be like, hey, do it or else. So then Eddie's like, you're the devil. And then Carnage changes his face to look like Eddie and is like, no, we're the devil. So later on, Eddie goes to sleep, and just to make sure that Carnage doesn't take control of his body while he's sleeping, he handcuffs himself to the bed. And Carnage's like, that's a smart idea. Problem is that I have no reason to take your body for a spin. What I want to do is go deeper into your mind and find out what you're hiding. So he walks over to Eddie's mind, and he has all these chains on his head. So Carnage's like, okay, you gonna make work for it, huh? Changes his arm into blades and starts hacking away. When all of a sudden, like an arm comes out of Eddie's head, grabs Carnage and slams him to the ground. And Carnage is like, oh, I guess Venom taught you that one, huh? Yeah, it's interesting, but I got time. Can't get in there violently. I guess I gotta be subtle. And then he goes and starts trying to pick the lock that has the chains. So then we cut back to Bailey, and the next person that she's looking at Eddie to go investigate, she thought was dead, but now she's thinking he might not be. And if you guys been digging Daredevil Born Again, then you know who this is. It's not Bullseye, it's Muse. But then there's a knock on the door. She goes and answers it, and it's the FBI. But more importantly, it's Misty Knight that's behind the FBI. And she's like, we need to know where Eddie Brock is, and we need to know where he is right now.